can be pets. Goldfish are the most popular. They can grow to be really big or really small. Goldfish are usually orange with big flowing fins and a flowing tail. But some have white spots or are white with orange spots. No, goldfish do not always have to be all gold. Just a little bit. Some of my neighbors have angelfish. Angelfish live in salt water. They have bright yellow tails. They also have blue lips. It looks like they're wearing lipstick. And this is a pufferfish. He looks kind of puffy. But the reason he's called a pufferfish is that if he gets scared, he can puff up like this. He looks like a yellow basketball. This is a lionfish. Does he look like a lion to you? One of my neighbors has an aquarium of seahorses. But seahorses aren't really horses. They're fish. Seahorses do look like horses though, don't they? But seahorses have no legs or manes, and they breathe through gills. They swim like they're standing up, but they don't go very fast. The seahorse is the slowest fish in the world, but it doesn't need to get anywhere very fast, so being slow is just fine for the seahorse. Seahorses spend most of their time resting by holding on to something with their tails. If you think seahorses are amazing, check out the leafy sea dragon. It looks like a plant, but it's actually a lot like a seahorse. Another neighbor of mine has tanks of jellyfish. Jellyfish live in salt water, and they're not really fish. They're mostly made of water. Jellyfish have no heads or brains. They get around by floating. Some of them glow. Amazing! Saltwater fish tanks can also have starfish. But starfish, or sea stars, are not fish. They are shaped like a star, though. Some have 5 arms, and some have even more. Starfish have lots of tiny tubes under them, called tube feet. They use their tube feet to walk, very slowly. Some saltwater tanks also have shrimp. Shrimp are small, with lots of legs and antennas. Crabs sometimes live in fish tanks too. This horseshoe crab is shaped like a horseshoe. The red king crab is big and red. Coral can also live in saltwater aquariums. Coral looks like a plant, or maybe even a rock, but it's actually an animal. Coral hardly moves. It eats some of the tiniest creatures in the ocean, called plankton. There are lots of kinds of coral. This is brain coral. This is pillar coral. Sometimes all different kinds of coral can grow together. Out in the ocean, coral can stretch on for miles, like an underwater forest. Lots of bright fish and other animals live there. Well, it's time for us to say goodbye to these amazing fish, including the goldfish, koi, jellyfish, and bozo. We need to keep this pet party going. Let's go meet some of the most amazing pets around. One of my neighbors has a big pond where she keeps lots of pets, including koi. But we've already met the koi. On the edges of the pond live her pet frogs. Like Mr. Bug-Eye. He's a little leaf frog with sticky orange feet. And Bud the bullfrog. He's big and loud. The whole neighborhood can hear him. All frogs have long legs for jumping. Let's see that in slow motion. Wow! Frogs are some of the best jumpers in the world. They're pretty good swimmers, too. Did you know that frogs are born in the water? It's true. They begin life as eggs. After the eggs hatch, the little frogs grow into tadpoles and swim around the pond. They eat a lot so they can get bigger. After months, they begin to look more like frogs, but they still have tails. Once they grow into adult frogs, their tails are gone. Each summer, more and more frogs grow up in the pond. And when the sun sets, they all start talking. Sal, the salamander, lives near the pond too. He's also an amphibian. And turtles live there too. Inside the house is a special turtle aquarium where more turtles live and swim. They use their legs to paddle and kick. But eventually, they have to come up and take a breath. Turtles breathe air just like you do. But unlike you, they have hard shells around their bodies. Sometimes I wish I had a hard shell. Turtles hatch from hard eggs like these. As pets, baby turtles need a lot of special care. Tortoises have shells too, but they don't swim. They live on land and walk around. That's how turtles and tortoises are different. Turtles swim. Tortoises don't. Tank the tortoise lives in one of my neighbor's backyards. Other tortoises live there too. They like to sit out in the sun and eat lettuce and carrots. Tortoises and turtles are reptiles. That means they have scales on their skin. Can you tell if these pets are reptiles? Is Liz the chameleon a reptile? Yes, because she has scales. Is Iggy the iguana a reptile? Yes, he has scales too. How about Slide the snake? Yup, he's also a reptile. Slide likes to slip through the grass outside and climb trees. Like most pets, he loves to move around. Even though Slide has no arms or legs, he's still an amazing climber. Lots of people in our neighborhood have lizards for pets. And some of these lizards, like Iggy, are iguanas. Iguanas have spines on their back. Other lizards don't. Liz the chameleon is a lizard. See how she sits on that small branch? That takes great balance. And like all reptiles, she likes to sit in the sun. The sun keeps reptiles warm and gives them energy to move. We better get moving too. It's time for us to fly and meet some birds. Birds aren't often thought of as pets, since they need a lot of space to fly around and stretch their wings. But some birds can make great pets. They sing a lot, and some will eat right out of your hand. Do you know what makes a bird different from my other pet friends? It's not the pretty colors, or that they lay eggs. It's not even because they can fly. Did you know there are a lot of birds that can't fly? Penguins can't fly. Ostriches can't fly either. What makes a bird is feathers. All birds have feathers. They can have colorful feathers, like on Gabby the parrot. or Monty the macaw, or brown feathers like on Swoop the hawk. These cute ducklings have yellow feathers, and their mom has brown feathers. Sunshine, the canary, also has yellow feathers. The zebra finches next to her have gray and white feathers. Some birds are usually never pets, like the handsome bald eagle. He's not really bald, though. He has lots of white feathers on his head. Pokey penguins aren't pets either. Nor are pink flamingos. Or the big-beaked spoonbill. But other birds make great pets. Lots of people have bright-colored parrots and parakeets. A parakeet is just a small parrot. Canaries make great pets too, and they sing. This one is named Tweets. Pet zebra finches call out to each other. But no one talks as much as Pete the parrot. He loves to talk. He even gives short speeches. Did you know that birds don't have any teeth? They use their beaks to grab food. And they swallow their food whole. Some of my neighbors keep small birds in cages at home. These cockatiels have a big trough of food to eat and lots of places to sit and talk. Almost all of my neighbors have bird feeders outside. Every day, lots of birds come to eat there. They come and go whenever they want. My neighbors have to keep filling the bird feeders up with seeds. This is a different kind of bird feeder. It's for hummingbirds. Hummingbirds love the color red, so when they see these red bird feeders, they fly over. Hummingbirds are some of the smallest birds in the world. Look at how fast they flap their wings. They have long beaks that they use to reach in and drink the sugary red liquid. They can eat and fly at the same time. Some of my neighbors also have birdhouses where birds can make nests and live. Birds also live on the ponds in our neighborhood. We have big white swans and lots of loud ducks. These birds have special feet that they use to paddle in the water. Ducks and swans can float all day, paddling with their feet. This duck is named Speckles. He has a green head. His friend Daisy has a brown head. That's how I can tell them apart. The pond where Speckles and Daisy live is really close to a big farm where even more pets live. Let's go see it. This farm is full of horses. There are mommy horses, daddy horses, and baby horses. Did you know that horses learn to walk as soon as they're born? It's amazing. When people are babies, they can't walk for about a year. But this horse, Trotter, is just a few weeks old, and he can almost run. Trotter mostly stays near his mom, Georgia. She takes care of him. This is Applejack. He lives on the farm too, with other horses that look a lot like him. They run all the time. Some horses carry people, even children. Riding a horse looks like a lot of fun. Some horses pull carriages. Did you know that before there were cars, almost everyone rode horses? Yep, people rode horses to get from town to town, or to get to their neighbor's house, or even to get to work. Some children even rode horses to school. Before there were buses, horses even pulled streetcars. Horses are strong. On farms, they pulled plows. And out west, they carried cowboys. Cowboys rode horses high up in the mountains. and use horses to herd cows, which means to keep the cows in one big group. Today, most horses don't work as much as they used to, but some of them still have jobs, like these race horses. They race around the track to see who is the fastest. Look at them go! Today, most horses live on farms and spend their days in big pastures. They can have a good life. People ride horses for fun. Some horses love to carry riders. They love it as much as these huskies love to pull sleds. Go, huskies, go! Horses are not only strong, they're huge. They're a lot bigger than dogs. They have long, strong legs and a firm back. They have big necks and huge eyes. They also have big hooves. This is a hoof. A horse's hoof is made out of the same stuff as your fingernails, but a hoof is much thicker. It's actually the horse's toe. Horses have just one toe on each foot. I have 4 toes on each foot. To protect their feet, horses wear horseshoes. But horseshoes don't look like the shoes you wear. They look like this and are made out of metal. A horseshoe is actually hammered onto the horse's hoof. But don't worry, it doesn't hurt the horse. The horse can't even feel it. A horseshoe keeps the horse's hoof from cracking, so it can run. Did you know that a horse is called different names depending on its age? A baby horse is a foal. A boy horse is called a colt. A girl horse is a filly. A grown-up male horse is a stallion. And a grown-up female horse is a mare. This mare is Georgia. Do you know what she likes to eat? The same thing as other horses. Hay! Hay is a kind of grass that grows on farms. I don't like it myself, but that just leaves more for the horses. Horses also love carrots and apples. These foods make them strong. When they're thirsty, they drink water out of big tubs called troughs. I prefer a bowl. Horses play a lot too. In fact, they only sleep 3 hours a day. That's nothing. I get 13 hours of sleep a day. Sometimes horses sleep standing up. Isn't that incredible? I can't sleep standing up. Can you? I would fall over like a bulldog. Horses do get on the ground to rest sometimes, though, or to itch their backs. Ooh, that felt good. Do you know that there are a lot of different kinds of horses? Some horses are short, like this pygmy horse named Bubbles. Some horses have big spots of color, which look like paint splotches. They're called paint horses. Other horses are even smaller than the pygmy horses and are called miniature horses. They're the smallest horses around. Even Tiny the Great Dane is taller than a miniature horse. Donkeys are sort of like horses, but donkeys aren't quite as big and can't run quite as fast. They're usually used for carrying heavy bags, which is why they're called pack animals. They carry packs. Did you know that zebras are also a lot like horses? But zebras have stripes. They're also wild animals. Zebras live in the wild of Africa, sometimes in zoos. But not in my neighborhood. In my neighborhood, there are just a lot of horses. And their favorite game is to race from one end of the field to the other. Ready, set, go! They're fast. Now the other way, go! Here they come. They could do this all day. But we have one more group of pets to visit. See you later, horses! The pets we're going to visit also live on this farm. Can you guess who they are? If you walk a little bit outside of our neighborhood, you'll find farms, as well as lots of cute pigs, loud chickens, louder roosters, gentle sheep, curious goats, mooing cows, and even peacocks. These farm animals can be pets too. Petunia the pig lives in a big yard of dirt, but she loves it. Pigs like to roll around in the dirt and use their noses to dig. On a hot day, it feels great to roll around in cool mud. Not that I've ever tried it. My beagle siblings and I stick to the grass. As you know, horses eat a kind of grass called hay. These goats eat hay too. Did you know that a baby goat is called a kid? Just like you. And just like you, goats love to jump and run. They also love to climb. Some goats live on mountains. This is why they're called mountain goats. But mountain goats are not pets. They love to climb up rocky cliffs like this. Amazing! Deep in the mountains, they find grass and other plants to eat. Most goats have horns and beards. See that long hair growing from the goat's chin? That's a beard. You almost never see a goat alone. They like to stick together in a group, just like sheep. Yes, there are sheep on the farm too. Sheep are covered in thick fur called fleece or wool.